We're going to begin with some comments from the tent, and afterwards there's a reception at the Steelworkers Hall. I don't think I have to welcome many of you to the street of this neighborhood, but as a local councillor, on behalf of the residents, thank you for coming out today to celebrate the opening of a working park for a true champion of working people. Names for that person. I'm not sure I need to say, Julius Deutsch, good to have you. I think all of you know who we're honoring here this afternoon, and thanks for coming. There are a number of people that have come back to the street to pay their respects and to stand beside us today as we truly unveil a monument to one of the people who has delivered so much to so many people in the city through hard work, through efforts of solidarity, kindness, of friendship, and just by being a good family guy. And I think that Julius, if he was here today, would be telling us all to get back to our campaign headquarters, but we're not allowed to talk about that, and I'm not going to raise that issue at all today. Really, I'm not. But joining us today is, of course, Mayor David Miller, Bob Hambley, who's Julius's partner in life and in many other endeavors. But I'd also like to highlight some of the other distinguished folks that are here joining us from council. Deputy Mayor Joe Pantalone, my good friend Councillor Gord Perk, the person who's led the budgeting process and has been a strong ally of all of us in the downtown core. Shelley Carroll is here. Councillor Paula Fletcher, who probably had a hand in building the park to begin with and is here to help us unveil its next chapter in life. And from our federal and provincial counterparts and parts of other political jurisdictions, I'm trying to stay away from this political stuff, but Sherry DeNovo is the MPP from Parkdale High Park, and she has joined us. My good friend Peggy Nash, who has probably spent more time in the building across the street than I have, and probably canvassed out of there more than I have too, but from the former MP from Parkdale High Park is with us. And Michael Curlo, former member of Metro Council and now representing residents in Beaches, East York, is also here as well. We also have members of Julius's immediate family, importantly. His nieces are here today, and you'll hear more from that from others that will be speaking. But we know that Julius was a dedicated social activist, a trusted political advisor, a mentor to many of the young activists who are with us, maybe not so young anymore, but nonetheless mentored when they were young. He worked diligently for a lot of labor issues in the city, and he brought a lot of equity and fairness to people's lives through a lot of the work he did away from election campaigns, just doing the ordinary stuff that makes the city a livable place for many, many newcomers, long-time residents, and folks that aspire to a better life by moving to Toronto. And it's with that great pride and with the recognition of the diversity that he so richly supported that we'll be naming this park in his honor today. I'd like to welcome David Miller, the Mayor of Toronto. Thank
you. Thanks very much, everyone, for that wonderful warm welcome, and most of all for being here today. To Bob, to Julius's nieces, and to all of us in the labor and social justice movements, I think this park renaming is a very appropriate tribute to a great friend, I think, of everyone in Toronto. And I do want to acknowledge somebody who has made a very special contribution to this, who is Councillor Adam Vaughn. Adam worked tirelessly to make sure that this work happened and this renaming happened, even down to having a motion on the last council agenda to add some more money, and I was trying to keep motions off the agenda. So when we went through the review, I said, what the hell's this, in the charming way I do, and Jane Carwatt, who's with me here today, my chief of staff, said, that's for Julius's park. And I said, oh, we better let that through then. So Adam, thank you, and let's give Adam a huge round of applause. Now, I do disagree with one thing Adam said in his very appropriate introduction about Julius. Adam said that Julius, if we were here today, would be telling us all to go back to our campaign headquarters. Everyone who's here who's ever worked on an election campaign with Julius knows that that is not true. Julius would have been said, get out and canvass. Now, I've seen a few people here with buttons on, for Kristen Wong Tam, for example. Deputy Mayor Joe Pantaloni's here, the only candidate for mayor who's actually trying to build this city instead of tear it down. And I'm going to echo what Julius would have said. We do need people on the streets of this city getting out and knocking on doors and explaining how we build a city for everyone. That's what Julius, for the time I knew him, from about 1985 or so on. Every campaign I was involved with Julius, he was relentless. Everyone here knows that. He was hard driving, he was a taskmaster, but it was all out of a spirit of building a city and a country and a province where every single resident truly had a chance. Julius believed passionately in social justice. He was passionately a fighter against racism. He passionately fought in favor of inclusion. And he was a very strong fighter for the labor movement and the rights of people in this city and country to work in safety with dignity and for decent wages. And Julius produced results. Year after year after year, people were elected because of the work that Julius Deutsch did and because of the people he brought together. You know, in 1990, he was instrumental in electing Elaine Ziemba, who served with honor and distinction in the Bob Rae government. He's been instrumental in working on the campaigns, I think, of every elected official here. He introduced Shelley Carroll and I, while Shelley was a liberal, and a school trustee, and that friendship, I think, has paid enormous dividends, and Shelley, your leadership at the city has been terrific, and I think a true testament to Julius's vision and understanding of what was possible. Julius has left an incredible legacy, and we all know it, and we can all tell stories, but we needed a place to celebrate that, and what more appropriate place right here on Cecil Street, which is the heart of so much social activism in this city. I'm very proud that we were able to name this park after Julius. I'm even prouder that so many of his friends and colleagues are here today to celebrate, and I'll be the most proud if all of us, after this little celebration, we're entitled to one day off, do actually get out and canvass and ensure that we can elect progressive people and a progressive city council and a progressive mayor in this city, which is full of progressive people, leads the country in progressive actions, and we can't do it unless everybody here honors Julius's legacy and gets out and work. I think that would be a fitting tribute to this park, and it's in that spirit I say thank you.